Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are on set filming multiple commercial spots for an eyeglass company. I was hired on as a gaffer with my 1-ton grip van. I go through all the lights, bounces, cutters, and modifiers used to get the final look. Stick around to the end to see the actual commercial. Let's get into it. This is a 2-day shoot with two different locations. I was brought in as a gaffer with my 1-ton grip van. The actual production company is Arc Point Studios. So let's get into the lighting right off the bat. We have two lights set up here giving us our room ambient light. It's two Aperture Nova P300Cs with the soft boxes, but no diffusion, just so we can reduce spill. So you can see it hitting the ceiling right there. It's creating kind of like an ambient light that's mimicking overheads in a way, kind of getting that light coming back down because of the bounce. And if we go into this area right here, this is where the talent was standing. It's two young girls, so they're really short. And what we used for the key light was an Aperture 600C with an Aperture 150 dome, 2.5 stop diffusion, and a 45-degree grid. That was coming in overhead. The grid was helping reduce spill. And down below, we had a bounce, and this was a 46 by 46 white foam bounce, kind of giving us a lift from underneath. So that key light was pointing down with the dome, and then it was coming right back up underneath the talent. So that was really beneficial there to make it have a good look. And then we have a Matthews 10-inch by 42-inch cutter. This was reducing some of the glare and reflections that were coming off of the dome still. We have eyeglasses everywhere, reflective surfaces. So we had to be very aware of those things when filming and having camera set up. So we were very aware of that. Joey Arches, our DP, brought the red Komodo X for this shoot. This is his camera package, so I can't go into details on everything on his setup, but let's continue with the lighting. So we have our key light taken care of. We have a bounce underneath. We have our room lights kind of illuminating everything, but we did have an overhead that was spilling into the seam. You could see how bright it was. So what I did is I got a 40 by 40 black floppy to kind of cut that light, left a little bit so we still had a little bit of safety light in the space, but that was a lot brighter. We were actually running some pretty low levels overall because we were making the space a lot darker and bringing in all the light. So we had more control. For a little background slash, we had the Aperture 300X with an Aperture 36-degree spotlight, creating a little slash on the glasses in the background. You can see it hitting right there on the glasses ahead. One of the big advantages of having a team to help you is you get more time to build out the scene. You can get more detailed, you can get more creative, and adding these little accent lights more and more to the scene is so helpful. So here we have talent standing in her spot, which will be background talent. And we have a light, which is the F22C with the 2.5 stop diffusion and a 45-degree grid, creating a pool of light that hits the subject. We're still running the grid to avoid too much spill. And then here is what the talent sees from this other direction. One thing that was added is you see that green little net, and that's a 24 by 36 single open end net. And that helped reduce the light that was hitting the father talent, which is in the blue back there. When he came in for the shot, he was getting blasted because he was closer to the light and he was a little taller. So we took down the levels on him. And here's another approach from the side. You could see my reflection in the mirror there. It's another thing we were fighting is actually mirror reflections, eyeglass reflections, and just everything was kind of playing. We did open up the grid a little bit, and you see that that helps hit that bounce over there. So that was very helpful. And then right here to our left hand side, you can actually see a 40 by 40 Matthews black floppy. And that was creating a negative fill on our subject to give us a little more shape overall. I know a lot of the viewers see me on shoots doing everything on my own, but it was amazing to have help here. You see Michael coming in right now with a bigger cutter. Jorg is right there with the longer hair and the glasses. We're all working together to get this cutter in place to reduce a reflection. And that's what's really awesome about having a team to work with you. Can I do this myself? Yes. Would it take longer? Yes. But the advantage of having a team that's working ahead of you, like predicting what's going to happen, really helps out a lot. Now I'm going to jump in front of the camera, run through some of the lights, and show you the results. So we have the Nova, which is filling the room. That's going to go off. And then our next fixture is a 300X, which is a little background splash there. I'm going to turn it off. And then we have some pockets of light with the F22Cs that are kind of just filling in the space. So those pockets actually come into play here. I know I'm a little out of focus, but you could see that. And then let's go ahead and kill the key light, which is a 600C. So, and that's the key light off. And let's turn on that little splash of light in the background. We have that on right there. And then we're going to turn on the Nova, show you what it's doing to bring up the room tone or room levels. And that's right there. And then we'll turn our key on, which is the Aperture 600C. And that's everything. That's our lighting setup. We have the pockets of light in the background. We have a net here to cut stuff. We have different things going on. We have a negative here that plays. So you can actually see what the negative is doing when I pull it off and then put it into play. All right, starting it off now. So we have the Nova, which is filling the room. That's going to go off. And then our next fixture is a 300X, which is a little background splash there. I'm going to turn it off. And then we have some pockets of light with the F22Cs that are kind of just filling in the space. So those pockets actually come into play here. I know I'm a little out of focus, but you could see that. And then let's go ahead and kill the key light, which is a 600C. So, and that's the key light off. And let's turn on that little splash of light in the background. We have that on right there. And then we're going to turn on the Nova, show you what it's doing to bring up the room tone or room levels. And that's right there. And then we'll turn our key on, which is the Aperture 600C. And that's everything. That's our lighting setup. We have the pockets of light in the background. We have a net here to cut stuff. We have different things going on. We have a negative here that plays. So you can actually see what the negative is doing when I pull it off and then put it into play. All right. That's my running, no running, no running on set run thingy, whatever. Let's take a look at the results. So this is from ArcPoint Studios Instagram page. This is actually one of the 15-second TV commercials they had on broadcast television. Pretty cool to see the results. You could see it all come together. Teamwork makes the dream work. We had over 17 crew members on set, and one of them was actually a BTS person capturing some great content. You can see their highlight right here. There was multiple BTS videos pumped out on the ArcPoint Studios Instagram page. So go ahead and head over that way. Give it a like. Thanks so much to everyone that watches the channel, that supports the channel, likes, comments, shares, everything. And to all the subscribers, thanks so much for getting us over that hump of 20,000 subs. Also, always stick around to the end of the video. You'll never know what you're going to see.
What are y'all doing over there? Breaking things?
What? Oh my goodness. It's amazing.
Going up?